Right. Have you got something for us? I think that's...
Always, dude. Always. I want to talk about George Clooney.
All right.
One, George Clooney's a legend. Everything I read about George Clooney makes him just seem like more and more of a legend. And you never hear of these things. And then you disagree?
I've always thought he's a bit of a douche.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like him.
Yeah, that's just because he's super successful and rich and handsome.
No, you see, I actually... okay. I don't know. I feel like he's got far more fame and success than he deserves for his work.
Why? He's a great actor.
The only bit of great acting I think he's done is Oceans. And that's my honest opinion.
Disagree.
Oh, okay. And what was the film? I am a man of constant sorrow. What was that from?
I have no idea.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Never seen it.
What? That's such a you film.
Great movies from George Clooney. Michael Clayton. Up in the Air. Great movies. A couple of stunning, great performances.
Highly recommend that you watch Oh, Brother,
Where Art Thou? Okay, noted.
Really good.
Noted. I will do my best.
All right.
What's it about?
It's about a bunch of prisoners who escape together, and they're on the run, and one of them's trying to get back to his wife. It's set in like 1920s America.
Cool. I
really
could be into that.
Really good.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I want to talk about, but not this. George Clooney's a legend, dude. Let me persuade you. He has a spy satellite.
Ooh.
Not really, but sort of. This is what the title of this episode will be, and then we need to, people will be like, oh, it's clickbait. But he does have satellites that he uses for spying. He's very famous for Nespresso adverts, right? Mm-hmm. You into Nespresso? I got a little Nespresso machine in there. I like it.
Yeah,
sorry. Good product.
Good product. Good coffee.
Good coffee. Hugely successful.
I've always been amazed that Nespresso is able to run, the stalls in supermarkets and like shopping centers. I'm amazed that that works because it's so expensive.
It's expensive, yeah.
And people
per thing, it really
people go and drink it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's
good
easy. It's good. It's easy. It's expensive. It's always like that. That triangle. You can have it cheap. You can have it fast, or you can have it good. Choose two.
And they've got all of them.
No, they've
got expensive.
They've got good,
expensive,
and fast
and good. Yeah.
They don't have cheap, but it's always like choose two.
I've never heard that. I like that.
It's really good, dude. The number of stuff it applies to is so true, and finding one that hits all three is so rare. You can have it cheap, you can have it fast, or you can have it good. Choose two.
I wonder what this podcast is.
Ooh, good question.
The equipment's quite expensive.
But it's free to get it.
So it's cheap.
It's
good.
Well, it remains to be seen. And it's fast. Is it fast?
It's very fast. All right, we're churning out a good few hours a week.
Are we going to hit the trifecta of things? People will be like, it's not free, I've got to watch ads. Oh, dude, the biggest one is I make all these videos on YouTube which are available for free. People, it's not free, I've got to pay for my internet. It's like, and how much of that do you think I get? Good God. Okay. George Clooney, spy satellite. Open up that HuffPo article.
Yep.
So, the reason I bring up Nespresso is because he apparently, according to him, and I believe him, spends the majority of the money that he gets from the Nespresso ads on... Oh, is that video not going to work? Oh, no, it's not relevant. Sorry, that's just an ad. He spends the majority of that money on, or he did previously, we'll get into why not in a second, why not anymore, on a spy satellite that watches over Sudan. And I'm just going to read a quote from this article that I have in front of me. This is a quote from Clooney. Most of the money that I make on the Nespresso commercials, I spend keeping a satellite over the border of North and South Sudan to keep an eye on Omar al-Bashir, the Sudanese dictator charged with war crimes at The Hague. Then the Sudanese dictator puts out a statement saying that I'm spying on him and how would he like it if a camera was following me everywhere I went. And George Clooney says, well, welcome to my life, Mr. War Criminal. I want the war criminal to have the same amount of attention that I get. I think that's fair. And I'm like, that is so good. And so basically, he's just he's got spies. He has the spy satellite. He rents it, actually, because it's, George Clooney's rich, but satellites are really, they're governmental operations a lot of the time. Although not as expensive as you would think, but it's up there in the tens of millions. So you can afford it, actually. We'll get into that.
Yeah, he could get his own, yeah.
But yeah, so he was using this to make sure they didn't, to let him know that someone's watching. If you commit war crimes, I'm watching you.
And it was simply that. It was simply like a.
He was
I'm
just
here,
like, I'm
Big
here.
Brother.
I'm watching. George Clooney's watching.
That's
Don't
funny.
misbehave. So great. However, this is all a bit out of date because since this article was written, that guy has been deposed in a military coup. It's good news. George Clooney was right. That guy is a dick. And by the way, this is YouTube, so there's going to be comments on this little section. People saying like, he was a hero to our nation. Because, dude, we made like a video about Bin Laden and people are like, he was a hero. And I'm like,
no, he wasn't.
All right, no,
No.
he wasn't. He was a monster, and it was awesome that he got shot. I love it. I hope that he died in pain. Right, it's fine. I'm totally okay with saying that, and I don't give a shit if you disagree with me. Yeah. So the satellite was tracking where the army was. It wasn't quite as simple as just a watchful eye. He'd also used the satellite information so he could see where the Sudanese army was going and alert civilian populations when they were coming, so they could flee.
Good.
Yeah, so they wouldn't get persecuted.
You know, I think there's actually a few celebrities do things like this, and you just never hear about it. There's who
did you? But
who
okay,
runs a charity?
This is my point about. Just stop a sec. This is my point about George Clooney. You never heard of this?
Yeah, never heard of this.
It's a good guy.
I think it's Keanu Reeves runs
Keanu
a charity.
Reeves is also
and
super good guy.
Big charity, I think it is, or it might be who's the other one that did A Star Is Born recently? The one in The Hangover. Really good looking one, Bradley Cooper. I think he might have a charity, and he doesn't put his name anywhere on it. I feel really bad for whoever's charity this actually is.
I feel in a way you should say you could put your name on it because it will attract more interest and investment.
Yes, but this was the thing. He didn't want to take away from the charity, whoever it was. I can't remember, but I know, for instance, Keanu Reeves is really good with this sort of thing as well. And you never hear about his charity work, but he does loads of it. And this is a similar sort of story. I like this. Well done, Mr. Clooney. You've won me over.
Okay, well, I'm going to win him over on you even more.
Go on then.
This is just a bonus George Clooney being a legend fact. Open up that BBC article.
Okay.
He gave... This is more famous. Maybe you've heard of this. Maybe you haven't. He gave a bunch of money to his friends.
Okay.
Have you heard about this?
No.
So we actually did a Today I Found Out video about this a while back, and I just wanted to bring it up because he's such a legend. Such a legend. This was in 2013, and he just... I think he lives in LA. I imagine he lives in LA. And he just invites, I think it's 13 friends or 12 friends, something like this. And he invites them all around for dinner. And these are people who he says helped him get where he was.
Okay.
So, and he said, these are people from I came to LA. I slept on your couch. I'm so fortunate in my life to have all of you. And I couldn't be where I am today without all of you. And there were people from different places. Like some were successful, some not so much. Like I remember reading some of the names and being like, oh, that guy, I know this guy. And then others were just some dude who's like working in a bar trying to support his family. And he says, George Clooney said to them, you don't have to worry about your kids. You don't have to worry about, school. You don't have to worry about paying your mortgage. This was one guy who attended the dinner is what he was saying. That's not Clooney. Also, because he's a double legend, he just presented it all in cash. There was just a bag of cash sitting at their place, $1 million.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. Even better, because obviously you're going to have to pay tax on that. He was like, all taken care of. You will leave. You have $1 million.
An actual $1 million in your
bank.
An
actual $1 million. All of the gift tax or whatever we've taken care of.
Jeez.
So, and this is a big deal.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And importantly, this was 2013, I think. And George Clooney, this was estimated as being 10% of his net worth at the time.
Oh, wow.
Which is major. Like, I think about giving away 10% of money I have. I feel like that would hurt.
Yeah.
That's like,
even
holy shit.
I don't have very much. So like that's...
Well, this is the thing, because it's proportional. You think, 10%'s not that much, but it really is.
Yeah, it is, like, of anyone's way. And the thing is, like, I know there comes a limit, and he obviously sort of has hit that limit where he can do whatever he wants, even without that 10% of his thing, but of his earnings.
But it still hurts.
But it still hurts. No. Like my point is that you adapt your life to how much you earn, and so he obviously has the like the taste and the thing and all the sort of habits of an extremely wealthy person, and to suddenly lose 10% of your net worth, that's losing a safety net.
Yeah.
That's if everything goes wrong, I've got that safety net.
No, it's not a safety net. He's fine.
But it's still a lot. That's
yeah. I just think absolute legend, super cool. Karma's a thing though, apparently, because that was 10% of his net worth at the time.
Yeah.
Since then, did you know he had a tequila company?
No.
He started a tequila company. He co-founded it with some other dude, and he sold it for $1 billion.
No, he didn't.
So yeah, he did.
Really?
George Clooney is mad rich.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool, right? Because you think,
cool.
he makes money from movies and
Do you know
stuff.
what the company was?
I want to say Avignon, but I feel like that's what it was in the Entourage TV show. Did you watch Entourage?
I didn't. No,
Love that show.
My brother loved it.
Yeah. I watched it like 6 times.
I'm gonna look it up. Hang on, George
Clooney Tequila Company.
Clooney Tequila Company.
And then my final line of notes on this is lots of indications George Clooney is a legend.
Casamigos.
Avignon was definitely the one from Entourage. One of the characters starts a tequila company and makes a ton of money. But it's funny that this happened after, that.
It seems to be a bit of a thing at the moment of
Ryan
celebrities.
Reynolds has aviation gin.
Aviation gin.
Aviation gin.
Great adverts.
Yeah,
Really good
Ryan
adverts.
Reynolds is a legend as well.
He is fantastic. I really respect his work. Like, really kind of good.
How can you... Okay, I get it. Ryan Reynolds also a legend. George Clooney's a better actor.
Do you think?
Yeah?
Pretty
sure.
I think Ryan Reynolds has found his niche.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is much cooler.
He's got that.
Is he?
No, he's not.
And also, I don't know if
He's got that sort of. He's got that very quick humor. He's like real sort of. He speaks to himself and to the camera and to like.
He does. And look, I don't want to argue because they're both S tier.
Yeah.
We absolutely know that there is no other tier of coolness and being a legend.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
For both of these guys, and they're both as cool as each other.
Yeah.
And I wish I was as cool as them.
Yeah, me too. Do you know, sometimes, do you ever have moments in your life where you kind of go, do you know what? I think I'm pretty cool. I think I'm good under stress. I think I could do this thing or that thing. And then you have to go and actually do it. And you realize you're really not as cool as you think you are. I had this, we've spoken about it. I had my singing audition.
But I don't think I'm good. I generally, I feel I'm a pretty good judge of what I'm capable of.
Okay, yeah.
But only through learning.
We've spoken about it before. I went and did this.
So you think you're better
audition.
at stuff than you are?
No. So I went and did this singing audition. And I thought, when you watch TV and you see people singing, you kind of sing at home and you go, oh, it's so much easier. It's so easy. How are they getting this wrong? And then
I would be like, I suck at that and I suck at it.
And then, no. And I always think oh, I can diva it up a bit and be a bit sort of like a showman. And I got on TV and I got on camera and I was like, I got shy. My palms went sweaty. My voice didn't work. It was just the worst thing I've ever done. And I went, you know what? I guess I'm not quite as there as I think I possibly might be in my brain.
Interesting. It's quite narcissistic of you.
No, it is a bit like it's.
But
I think everyone.
The reason it surprises me is because you don't strike me as that type of guy at all.
But I'm not is the thing. Like, typically I'm not. It's with singing and auditions is like one thing that I do. I'm like, oh God, that was a really bad audition. Like I'm quite critical with like singing and like bands and things like that. Like the sound of music, I really sort of hear it. I listen to it and I'm very critical of it. And then I went and did my audition and it was bloody awful. And I got there and it was just the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. And I think you always notice there's a difference between people doing like auditions and then, for instance, in these shows, in the X Factor or in Pop Idol, or American Idol or something, they will win the show. And normally by the end of the show, they've sort of got a bit of a groove coming. But then the next year, they'll come back and sing their single when they're famous. You know, they've already done like a tour and everything. And boom. All of a sudden, it is a different person. They come back with this powerhouse, like, energy. We are here.
Well, also because you know you're good at something. Like, I feel now when I do a podcast, when I do a YouTube channel, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And because I know what I'm doing. If I don't know something, I don't assume anything.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Like, I think if I was giving a talk or something, and I've given talks, so I guess I know I'm okay at that. But like, if we were going to do a live podcast or something, so like something slightly different, or we go on tour and we do the show live and blah, 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 I'd be like, okay, that would be fine. Because I have experience doing it like this. I've also done live things before. And it's like, I know that neither of these are going to particularly bother me. But then if it was something that is outside of my comfort zone, I would assume I suck. Or I would assume that I would do probably slightly better than the average person because, I don't know, I'm quite competent.
Have you ever done like... Have you ever done any like free filming sort of vlog style
Yes,
videos?
for sure. I did it for a year.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Interesting. Right, there you go. I think a lot of your stuff is sort of quite set. It's
Yeah.
sort of, this is how we do it. It's
But
edited.
this isn't. But this isn't. And
This
I've done a
isn't.
podcast like this before, and I do a YouTube channel which is freeform, and I've done a lot of camera stuff that is freeform.
Which
So-
YouTube channel's that?
Business Place,
Oh,
the new one. That's it's my little
Still
project at the moment.
Still got to watch that. Sorry.
It's really different. It's
I'll get there.
completely different.